Welcome back, Gadgeteers. So behind us we have an illustrious MacBook Pro 2009. Now this is one that I sold to a good friend of mine, and as luck would have it, the battery is a little bit tired, so they're only seeing about I would say 90 minutes when they're using it. So and that would be kind of like normal use, running the internet, browsing the web, doing some basic stuff. Really, we should expect the battery to last longer than that, but I'm thinking it's time to replace the battery, and so we have here a brand new battery that we're going to put in the unit. Now, this is not an OEM battery from Apple itself, and I'm thinking, quite frankly, they probably don't even have the actual batteries anymore for the 2009. So this is from Batteries and Bulbs. A friend of mine owns the store and my son works there. So what we have here is a Rayovac battery replacement, which according to my son have done really well. So without further ado, we're gonna have a look at the current battery, and then we'll take it out and replace it with this battery. All right, let's take a look at the information here for this particular MacBook Pro. So as you can see, it is a MacBook Pro 13-inch mid 2009, and it has a 2.26 gigahertz Intel Core 2 Duo processor. It has 8 gigabytes of RAM that I upgraded in there, and it has a NVIDIA GeForce 9400M 256 megabytes. Now, over on storage, I upgraded this particular MacBook Pro with an SSD, which is a 240 gigabyte SSD. They have about 174 gigabytes free in storage. So this system actually is very responsive, still runs perfectly, if you can believe it. I mean, it's a beautiful system. It only had one ding on it and is using a nice clear plastic cover that I put on it, so it's doing really well. No damage to it externally, and everything is still fully functional on it, so it does great. Okay, so health information of the battery: we have cycle count 695, condition is normal, battery is installed, average milliamps 1653. So what I plan on doing is I'm going to shut it down, we're going to replace the battery, we're going to fully charge it, and then we're going to give it a time test and see how long the battery actually lasts, and hopefully it's longer than what they have. I can't imagine it wouldn't be. Now, this is a somewhat older MacBook, of course, so sometimes the older MacBooks just don't have as long a battery life as the newer ones. All right, here we go. All right, well, we've taken the clear plastic cover off the back here. Now, the cool thing about this, it has a couple of slight dings and little scratches and maybe one tiny dent. This thing is actually in amazing shape considering how old it is. So here is the box for the battery. And inside, the unit actually does come with 2 screwdrivers. So let's take those out and have a look at them real quick. Okay, so they're basically a smaller and larger Phillips head screwdriver. I don't know if you can see that, which makes perfect sense because that's pretty much what's in here. And here we have the battery. Now, I'm not going to remove it from the bag just yet, but basically, as I understand it, there's only one cable. So it should be pretty straightforward. A couple of points where the screws go in and a single cable. So I've got to be careful. Some of these screws may be smaller than the other screws, and therefore I'm going to want to set them up in such a way that I can remember where they go, which I'm going to do over here off camera. right, we have the new battery in. You can see that the cycle count is now 1. Health information says the capacity in milliamps is 6,198. Current charge remaining 2,293. The battery percentage up here is at 37%. And we'll of course have to reset the clock because we took the battery out, so it lost power for a little while. We are under charge. We've got 38%, so we're going to give this thing a full healthy charge, and then I will do a discharge test to see how long the battery lasts compared to the old battery. So we figured about 90 minutes on the old battery. So I'm going to shut it back down, and I am going to finish putting the screws in and then do a battery test, and I'll let you know what the results were. For you in about 2 seconds. For me, well, it's gonna be a while. All right, Gadgeteers, so we've got the battery replaced in the MacBook Pro 2009 Core 2 Duo. Basically, the process took 10 minutes. It was very easy, nothing to it. I went ahead and did a timed battery test after the fact. I got 5 hours, 40 minutes at approximately, on average, 75% brightness. I ran 80% for the first 2 or 3 hours, and then I took it down to 70%. And I had videos playing about 2/3 of that time. So for about 2.5 to 3 hours, I was playing videos. I did not let the computer go to sleep. It never was sleeping, shut down, turned off, anything like that. It was running all the time. The screen was on all the time. And I varied, and I did a couple of things on it via internet, but mostly video play. So I like to give it more of a real world feel. I'm sure if I had taken it down to 40% brightness and reduced my video consumption to maybe 1 hour, an hour and a half, I could have easily gotten 7 to 8 hours on this new battery. But the point is, I wanted to see what you could expect from the real world. Now, this laptop is absolutely beautiful. Now, you do notice I have it plugged in. That's because I want it to be fully charged for the customer when they come to pick it up. But otherwise, being a 2009 laptop, this thing is in immaculate condition. It works perfectly well. So should you pick up one of these laptops if it's a really good deal and it's in perfect condition? Yes, but you do have to keep in mind that El Capitan is the last supported operating system version of macOS 10 that's on this unit. There are people who have put out guides on YouTube to upgrade to a newer version of macOS, but that is not supported, and typically I do not do that. Now, I have an iMac in the background, my 2008, and I also have a 2008 MacBook Pro that both use El Capitan, and I still use them and do things on them. So these are fully functional as long as El Capitan is supported, which will be, I think, a little while longer. I'm not sure how long. It all depends on when the next release of macOS is. So bottom line, if you can get a good deal on these, absolutely. Now, this one has the 8GB RAM upgrade, an SSD in it, and now has a new battery, so it's going to run for some time, and it runs really well for internet use. It's really an excellent laptop in that regard. If you see one that's like a 2010 or 2011 that still supports the newest macOS Mojave, which is the newest version of macOS, pick it up, grab it if you can get it for a good deal. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Just a basic guideline, quick video on how a new battery will run. Again, 5 hours, 40 minutes versus the 90 minutes. Now, the customer likes to have brightness all the way up, I've noticed. So, you know, that's going to cut into battery life, but I think the customer can expect at least 4 hours with full brightness and basic internet use, and if you take it down to 70%, you'll easily get 6 hours with just basic internet use. All right, Gadgeteers, that wraps it up. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, thank you for watching, and if you get a chance, please subscribe and drop a like, and hopefully you'll share it if it's useful to you. I'll see you next time. This video was made possible with support from viewers like you. If you find this video useful, consider becoming a patron for as little as $1 a month, at patreon.com/FastGadgets.